please remember to leave a like, a comment, share the video about, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you. Well, isn't this just fantastic?
Hello everyone, welcome to another This Week at Twitter, or X. Today we're going to start with a video tweeted out, found, after being tweeted out, on Instagram by Dexter2. Gabby Hannah is now a fitness instructor in her home state after disappearing from social media in January 2023. For a while there was a lot of concern surrounding Gabby Hannah, who appeared to be going through the motions but also a rather horrid spat of poor mental health. And yes, so Gabby Hannah did in fact disappear. There was no longer a twinkle in her eyes, much in the way of accusations were coming out. She herself was creating drama while looking like she was incredibly off her tits. Here is the video from the Instagram account in question.
Hey, come here. You want to know the real secret to meeting your fitness goals? Cardio? Sure, that's a part of it. Strength? Okay. Also a part of it. Don't make fun of my push-ups. But the real secret, the thing that's going to ensure you meet your goals? Consistency. Consistency. And you want to know the #1 secret to consistency? Fun. Your workout doesn't have to be boring. It can be as fun as a night out dancing with your friends. And it should be. My name's Gabby and I'm your new instructor at the Lawrence County YMCA. I can't even tell my thighs are burning because I'm having so much fun and looking so good doing it.
So Gabby Hannah is promoting something, and in turn, if you looked at the video, you would have noticed she looked more enthusiastic, happier. A break away from social media may have done us some good, and she has actually provided a bit of a statement on that. But for that, we go back to March 2023, where she appeared on the Prince Ears podcast, The Sauna Sessions, saying she was trying to work up the strength to actually delete her social media pages, but can't figure out if that's what she's supposed to do or not. Specifically TikTok, because TikTok is like the cesspool, the worst of the worst. And I agree with that. It is. That's why I like using it. For lols, TikTok has taken over from the likes of Twitter, to be honest. Some of the worst stuff you could think of is on that platform, and people can just keep on making new accounts like Twitter. Although Twitter is a little different now these days, isn't it? Marginally. In the context of what Gabby Hannah appears to be doing, this is a great sign for her future, because let's face it, she had plateaued and she was going through a decline. It would make sense to cash out while you had the chance and simply rebuild a better life for yourself, because there's no way she's not financially stable to an extent. So she can afford to go home to Lawrence County and just live. Something which I would hope for everyone to do, to be able to just live without a considerable amount of poison weighing on your shoulders. In this, I mean the poison that is her social media time, presence over the past few years, but also the content that she had produced that created a lot of the poison. Whether she's ditched her music career, I don't know. Whether she's ditched the story times, I also don't know. But I do hope that as she goes forward, if she's going to commit to this, that she succeeds at whatever this is meant to be for her. I also agree that workouts shouldn't be boring. Just thought I'd share that. While we're in the ballpark of health, we're going to go to a video that was doing its rounds quite a bit on Twitter, in fact. Coming from TikTok no less, the cesspool, where a mother made breakfast or a meal for a 1-year-old child. Now, some of us would understandably take issue with the video. For it to make sense, I'm going to press play. No offense intended here, but for a 1-year-old, that's not a breakfast, is it? It doesn't look like a breakfast to me. For a 1-year-old, there are options available that are a little bit less, let's say, junk food oriented, or junk food presenting, perhaps without so much sugar in, and something a bit more, nutritional, yeah? Instead of presenting meal to child on plate while sat on a trampoline, which is what the child is doing. I'm not going to show the child in this part. Some try to defend. For example, Kylie, why does everyone comment like they're the best parent in the world? Lamau, at least her kid is fed and happy. You're doing great, mama. Reply, it's not about being the best parent, it's about caring about your child's health. This is so much sugar for a 1-year-old, any doctor would say so. And while replying to Footfingers, childhood obesity is a serious problem and it starts at home. Mikey, my child is 4 and she just found out what ice cream is. Banana Cherry, they need to get out more. If they've never been around ice cream, they aren't being around kids enough. Reply, how is not knowing what ice cream is related to not being out enough? I feel in the context of children and receiving phenomenal amounts of unnecessary sugars, it is a very fundamental point to understand that childhood obesity is a problem. One should seek to try and learn from the mistakes of the past instead of simply finding the easy way out and putting donuts in front of a child. I say this with a level of experience. My nieces have cereal in the morning or toast. They have yogurts if they don't have enough cereal or enough toast. There is a balance, there's fruit available. They are not given donuts. They are given what is needed to give the body the best start to the day, but also so they don't get fat. I know the cutoff point is 18 and then suddenly it's body positivity, but I'm always going to hold firm in this belief that we shouldn't be encouraging this from a young age. So next we go to a video tweeted out by Drama Alert. They won't unalive you, their collective smell will. The video comes from no context shitposting. I won't deny there is something oddly cringy about watching a group of guys with their what look like Power Ranger morphers. I can't be certain. It's not for me. Who am I to judge, right? Although I didn't mind Power Rangers as a kid and I had the white Power Ranger saber because I was a child and that was what you had. In this, one can both be cringed but also appreciate that there is a group of guys out there who enjoy their hobby enough to unashamedly show it to you in a video like that. White Sith male, friend of mine, bit of a Jedi, had tweeted, I wonder who smells worse, Keem, you or them? Bunch of dudes liking their hobby, I don't see the issue here. Though this is coming from a nerd too, so I might be a bit biased. I do believe it's not just Keem that has access to that Twitter account, I think somebody else does as well. So I don't know if that was tweeted by Keem or not, as I've seen Keem retweet the account multiple times, correcting them I think. Moving on from that, we're going to go to a video tweeted by Libs of TikTok. Now this one might get me demonetized, so I'm going to blur out as much as I can or blank out as much as I can and fill in the gaps where possible. Libs of TikTok had tweeted, LGBTQ activist calls to normalizing slapping that word in 2024, including women. This upward trend of LGBTQ and activists calling for a word that they, Libs of TikTok themselves, have blanked out against those with opposing views is incredibly alarming. I'm going to insert the disclaimer. Violence is never the answer. It really isn't. I don't see why it should be normalized, and if you think you've exhausted all options, that you feel that now the extreme must be explored of kicking someone's head in, we need to have a discussion. Here's the context of the video, so you can vaguely, because some's going to be cut anyway, understand the perspective presented.
Let's normalize slapping transphobes in 2024. I don't care if you're a man or a woman, like, you're gonna get hit if you start talking shit like that to me or my friends.
I still cannot support it. Get off your high horse, stop huffing your own farts, and accept there are going to be differences of opinion, not just in the West. If last week's exhibition of stupid people proved anything, it's that different cultures interpret information very differently, and it should be no different in your own country, especially when your country is mahoosive. Seriously, do you really think all of America is going to be in alignment, or that crapping on them or threatening them is going to change that?
What the fuck is this? This is just bullying at this point. Bro, what is this?
Chris the Narc had tweeted, these will be up for sale in the new pack Series X coming very soon thanks to lolcow trading card game. Since Tipster is back on the menu for pretending to be like Tommy about Mama Max, get yours when it launches. Included are 3 images of cards. You've got Tipster Hutticus, Lolcow Chungus, that is, overrun. When this character is scrapped from anywhere, both players draw one card. You have Super Tipster Bro, Legendary Lolcow Chungus, pay 2 and say, here's the tip, switch the attack and health of this until the end of outro. And the third, Chris the Narc, Scribe, Cheap Shot Stalker, smile and give your opponent a thumbs up when you declare a beatdown with this.
Lolcow Chungus. So you got the Goth Mummy, and then what is that supposed to be? Keffals. Must say that is very, very generous to Keffals. And Goth Mummy milk in the background. Dude, this is bullying. I don't support this at all.
If we're going to say that this is bullying of Tipster, then any criticism of anyone that now falls within the bracket of a lolcow is being bullied because they have a card immortalizing their form. I don't believe this to be a form of bullying, but I do agree that the Keffals image is quite generous. But I think that plays on the Thirst Trap thumbnail they were using for a while, that they removed or changed or amended to be thirsty as Fook from some of those enhancements I believe may have or may have not been removed. I don't believe this to be a form of bullying. It's internet law. I also think a number of creators who might feature in this game, to an extent, bring it on themselves through their actions in the online space. In the case of Tipster, it is because of their own irrational behaviour, their emotional outbursts and constant flip-flopping, but also buddying up with Keffals and acting as if everything is about Keffals, which is quite amusing really, and a shame because he and I were friends at one point.
Is that Keffals with cocaine? Who is that supposed to be? Pay 2 and say, here's the tip. Switch the attack and health of this until the end of the outro. Who's that? It's not Hassan, is it? Or is it? Is he shock? Is that a Hamas thing or something?
Moving on from that, I was ordinarily going to call this Americans Ruin Everything until I realised in the background it's actually Dubai. So on the screen you'll see a video from Moot, which is a Dubai-based eatery. It's another one of those places that's hopped on the back of the Salt Bay overly ostentatious presentation style to make things look more excess and gaudy than it really is. But as you can see from the way this is being produced, there is something wrong about it, a waste of ingredients that you'll see soon, and quite frankly, watching this hurts my soul. My greatest issue with places like Moot is how the meat is itself prepared. I am very much against halal products. I really am. You can be pedantic and say, oh, what about marshmallows? You can unsubscribe as well, because I can't be arsed with you. You think my issue would be more about the cost. Turns out, actually, the costs aren't that high in the first place. And I'm certainly not going to fault a company that has expanded in the way it has, but I will when it comes to the practice of how that meat is obtained. And of course, the waste of spices and honey that goes onto the product you've seen in this video. Owing to a time constraint on my part, we're going to finish with something nice and simple. Every so often I stumble across a random block of the week. Well, today's no exception. My dear friend, Anne with an E, the Fuggler Queen, breastfed and all, call me old-fashioned, but I don't want to be friends with anyone who supports doxers. And there are many on social media, many on YouTube, many within vast numbers of communities who are okay with doxing. You can be pedantic or play semantics with it all you like, but you should never support it at all. If you know someone's personal information and it is not publicly or widely known, you shouldn't be alluding to it either. If you're that kind of person, you're a dickhead. So how this ties in with the random block of the week is, somebody had replied to my friend Anne, but I can't see the tweet. Turns out I am blocked by someone called Honey West, who is involved in World, which is totally understandable. I have annoyed quite a few of them, and I'm okay with it. Be annoyed. Smooth brain. Ta-ta everyone.